to the Diamond Niner Gals podcast postseason edition. I am Nick, joined as always by Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Producer Brad making all this stuff work.
Hey.
And special guest brought in just for tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Touchstone. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, guys. Ratings are going to go down.
Who cares? Well, we don't do this for the ratings anyway. Boys, what's going on? Coach Kevin, what's up?
Hey, I'm looking at Jimmy's man cave. It looks really good, man. Added some stuff since the last time I saw it.
Just time and money.
The man cave, the man cave continues to grow. Producer Brad, how you been, brother?
Been all right. Just living life and remodeling the house, or trying to.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Same here. Been doing a lot of projects around the house lately. What's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's good to get some stuff done. Good summer so far. So, all right, let's just lay our cards on the table, boys. We wanted to do this. It's Thursday evening. We wanted to do this. I think everybody kind of needs it. There, a lot of stuff has happened since the last time we did this show. Niner Gals played in the Athens Regional. Ended up losing to Liberty. It ended UNC Wilmington's season, ultimately loses out to the University of Georgia. Second tournament appearance ever for the program. Second in a row. So awesome. Lot to be proud of. 39 wins last season. And that was awesome. And then things got a little squirrely. In the last few weeks, we have seen the exit of a coaching staff. We'll talk about that. We have seen entrance into the portal, and we've seen a new head coach hired. So that's all we've got to talk about tonight. NCAA tournament, coaching changes, staff changes, transfer portal, the whole thing. And I think we've got a great group here assembled to do it. If this group here is not enough, by the way, joining us here in a little bit is going to be, we wanted to get a little bit different perspective on this, on all this that has happened. And who better to talk to than the person who has put on the Charlotte softball jersey more times than anyone in program history. So coming up here in a little bit, Cori Hoffler is going to join us, and we're really excited about talking to Cori here shortly. So, okay, there's sort of the menu, guys. That's where we're going to go. Let's go back to Athens. That's where we left off. We had just talked to the last show. We were just preparing for an Athens regional. We had gotten a preview from Coach about all that, and then the gals boarded the bus and headed to Athens.
Right, and when we left off, it was a appealing regional for the Niners. We had seen Liberty before. We'd seen Wilmington before. We had played Georgia in the fall. So we had a lot of confidence going into that regional. Trying to jog the memory, it's been a while, but just looking at the box score, and I remember we had one bad inning in the field. It started raining for that one half inning for the whole game, and we gave up 5 in the one inning. And that's all it took. We scored one. We scored 3 runs. We ended up coming back and scored 1 run in the last 3 innings to make it 6-3. But we lost the first game of the regional to Liberty. Just that one rough inning cost the game.
And can I just say, guys, is that not like the most Niner thing ever, just in general? That like we and the gals absolutely deserved and earned that 2 seed. Okay, but as a 2 seed, I feel like we drew like the toughest matchup we could possibly draw in a 3 seed in the Liberty Flames, because they did not play like a 2 seed. They never do like a 3 seed. That is a tough, solid program. They always give us fits. And drawing them as a 3 seed, I felt like our regional had basically 2 number 2 seeds.
Right, I agree with that. It was a fairly even regional, I thought. Wilmington,
Yeah.
we played them earlier. It was a 2-1 game or something, a 1-run game, but we played them early in the season. So yeah, looking forward, it was an even regional, a winnable regional for all 4 teams really.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a fun weekend, and you know what's gotten so fun. I hesitate to say this, but the TV coverage for all these regionals has gotten so good. So we were able to see all the games, tune in, check it out, and that's fantastic. You know, I know we were all texting back and forth and you know, making observations during the games, but you know, it was with the progress the program has made, and Jimmy, you can testify to this. With the progress that the program has made, it's hard to get to a point where, you know, you end up coming away disappointed with, you know, making a regional, being a 2 seed, at-large bid, the whole thing. And then you don't want to be disappointed, but you still go, gosh, we could have done it. We could have won it.
Well, I think also if you recall, like one thing we haven't mentioned is we go into the regional having won 16 games in a row.
Yeah.
Right. And there were so many comebacks during that 16 game stretch where you're like, yeah, okay, we lost to Liberty. It was a little funky. Then we go beat Wilmington 5-0. And you're sitting there going, hey, okay, most of the game against Georgia, we're down 2 runs. Like, you just don't feel like it's insurmountable. Like, you expect us to come back and play another game. And so, yeah, I think it's like, to your point, it's we're happy we're there. But, you know, I do think we've just built something. You're thinking, you know what? We're not done. We got another game in us. And, you know, it just didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, we were good enough. We were good enough to play a bigger role in that than we did. We could have won it. I mean, the whole time, like you said, the Georgia game, it was basically 2-0, and the whole time you're thinking, we're going to come back. We're going to come back. Something's going to happen. It's going to start somewhere. We're going to get some gals on base, and you know it's going to happen. But hey, you know, it all has to end somewhere. It was disappointing for sure, but my goodness, to your point, hottest team in the country to end the season, 39 wins, second consecutive NCAA tournament bid, second in school history. That team, we'll remember that team for a long time. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Right, it finished tied for the regular season, and won the conference.
Won the conference tournament.
Destroyed the tournament.
Another top 25 appearance.
Yep.
Yeah, we ran through the tournament, and I mean, finished tied for first. We were rightfully champs, I would say, in the AAC, and that it's elevated the program to places we haven't been before, honestly, and it's fun. The program is going in the right direction. We were having a good time.
Yeah. So, you know, it's one of those things, and this is a life lesson, you know, for everybody. When you're having good times, when you're having success, when you're having fun, you better enjoy it, because we're not promised anything. Shortly after the season concluded, the coaching carousel came up. You know, it got into full swing, and I still remember, guys, and I want to ask each one of you this question: do you remember what you said? Because we've seen. I mean, heck, last summer, Coach Chastain was involved in some coaching searches. I mean, I feel certain she could have had NC State if she'd really wanted it. But when I read on my phone that South Carolina had fired their coach of 14 years, what's the first thing you said?
Oh, I know
Now,
what I said.
y'all keep in mind, this is a family-friendly show. What did you guys say when you read the tweet that South Carolina had fired their head coach?
Oh, you remember the line from A Christmas Story? Oh, fudge. Only I didn't say fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's similar, but we've talked about this off air and between ourselves. That's where Ashley went to school, and she interviewed for other jobs, but the one we were worried about, the whole time, even when we played them here, when we beat them here to open the season last year, in 2023 season, we talked about this. Ray Tanner was there to see it. That was her alma mater, and if that job ever came open, it would be tough to keep her from going there.
You don't think Ray Tanner, the South Carolina's athletic director, you don't think Ray Tanner just randomly drives, on the road for weekday softball matchups? You don't think he just does that because he likes it?
Yeah, I think every athletic director has a list. Every good athletic director has a list, and
yeah,
she was
I
on top of the list.
I detect sarcasm.
Yeah, I think he was scouting quite clearly. But, so we started to see not too long after, the hot board lists start coming out, and when South Carolina fired their coach, and, of course, Ashley was on those lists, and, we just kind of we were just along for the ride like everyone else. And, the smoke started getting a little thicker and a little denser, and pretty soon it wasn't a smoke, it was a flame. And news broke. Remember that job that they had hired Ashley Chastain for that job. And like you said, Kevin, you knew it was coming. But my gosh, it was. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm just reacting here because we're not media. We're just fans. It was a gut punch. Even though you knew it was, you knew it was coming, but it's like, oh.
Yeah. It had mixed emotions, I'm very happy for Ashley. That's
yeah.
South Carolina is like Charlotte for us. South Carolina is like that for her. And she did so many good things for us. Won a lot of games here for us. Elevated the program to places we've never been, and initially I was just very happy for Ashley and to see her succeed in her career and do good things. But then I turned around and was like, oh, well, what about us now? What are we going to do?
Yeah. What about us? Wait a minute. We actually, we actually got had people asking if as this played out, if we were part of the deal, and I can absolutely confirm, Jimmy, that we were never a part of any discussions about any of that transition. So
you didn't. You guys never were in the portal or never.
No.
Did you have a do not contact because I don't want to go to Columbia clause or something like that?
I think we just through our representation, we put it out on the street that this was our home and that we would be here. We answered the question a little better than Jim Schlossnagle.
Is that too soon?
No. So we put it out there that no, we're staying right here. So here's the thing, and I don't want to belabor it, but I think what we know now Okay, a little bit of time, and we waited. We wanted to wait let a little time pass before we got on here and have time to kind of let things set and kind of collect our thoughts, but also gather more information because I mean now what we know is we know that the entire staff, it's not just Ashley, it's the entire staff has gone, and I think guys, correct me on my math. I think we've got three or four confirmed players that not only entered the portal but have committed to South Carolina. It may be more than that now, but
I think there's four that have committed to South Carolina, but I think we have 12 in the portal.
Yeah. So four that we know of. So an entire staff, entire coaching staff, and you know,
Eric McKibben.
I mean, yeah, we've got Eric McKibben. Okay. But I mean, we're talking about, you know, an All-American, you know, in Ari Rhodey. We're talking about, you know, our best returning pitcher in Sam. I mean, these are not defensive
player of the year,
defensive player of the year, and Lexi Winters. These are not minor pieces that are gone. But yeah, my goodness, it's been quite a process to watch it, Jimmy, because it was just like, man, this is happening really fast, kind of thing. And I get it. Okay. This is what I want to say. Kevin, you said it first, and I want to echo that. Really happy for Ashley. Okay. Really happy for her. It's a great move, to go back to her alma mater. It's a great career move. The resources they have and the things in place down there. I mean, we have to be realistic about the state of our program. She brought it a long way. Okay, no doubt about that. We already talked about that. She brought it a long way, but to try to say that, you know, that we're in that stratosphere is not correct. But here's what I will say. And I want you guys just respond to this, okay? I feel like, you know, it's a dream of hers to go down there. A lot of people have been excited to go with her. Those things are great. But while we're happy for them, we like it here. We think this is a great spot. We call this home. And I think we're excited about moving forward with people that want to be here. I mean, this is not, you know, this is a coalition of the willing, you know, and we think we think this place is special, and we think some other people will agree with us and want to be here. So that's just my take on it, guys. You tell me the fault in my logic here.
No fault in that logic. As a matter of fact, we've got the dynamic six. I can get my fingers right here. Right. I mean, let's give some love to the ladies and Eric, who said, you know what, we're not even going to go hit the portal. This is home, and we're going to stick it out and be part of the nucleus going forward. And so let's give some love to, you know, London and Savannah. And again, you know, we said Eric, but we got Christina out there and Brooke and Keegan. Like we cannot give them enough love, because I think they have the heart like we have for Charlotte. And so, you know, let's make them folk heroes, right?
Right. And hopefully we add more to that list, because, you know, just because you get through the portal does not mean you're gone.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have a coach in place or anyone on staff except for Eric McKibben for a couple weeks. So if I was a student athlete, I would be opening my options up as much as I could, just because we didn't have a coach in place. But now that we have a coach in place, maybe we add to that list. Hopefully we add to that list of returning players and start building back up.
That's a great point, Kevin, because I think we said the number was 12 players in the portal.
Right.
Just because you go in the portal, in fact, the way the system, and that's we could do a 3-hour show on the current state of college athletics and the whole system, the way it's set up right now, or lack of the way it's not set up. Honestly, it's just kind of, it's wild, wild west. But if your coach leaves the way things are right now, a potential play for you is just to go ahead and enter the portal, no matter what you've got on your mind, almost as a protection. It's almost like hedging your bet. Well, I'll just go in the portal and see what's out there, and maybe I'll stay here, maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. While you're waiting on a new coach to be hired, you go in the portal. So could some of those gals wind up back here? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's certainly possible. Obviously not the ones that committed to South Carolina, but it'll be up to Coach Brialt, which we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But hey, let's just see what happens.
Right. It's a transition period, and we've been through this several times as 49er fans.
Yeah. This is, and honestly, I mean, if you're going to build a program, it's kind of the way it's supposed to work. You want to hire people that kind of that are going to be marketable. And Ashley and Jody and Katie and CJ, they built this into what it was, and now we've got to find a way to build on that momentum. It feels a little bit like starting over, honestly, right now, looking at the roster page. But this is a better job. This is a better job right now than the one Ashley took.
Yeah,
right.
And you know what? I think what's interesting is, yes, you have to go back and rebuild the program. I said rebuild, but what's happened is, I think what we've seen is an administration and as a fan base, like we've seen what's possible, and so there's an appetite for it here on campus and in the community. And I don't think you can discount what that does to help Courtney and whoever her staff and team is going forward to hit the ground running, right? And knowing you're going to have that support behind you no matter what.
So the last thing I'm gonna throw out there, and it's just I gotta be me. I gotta stay on brand, guys. And while we wish those folks well, we're happy for what they did here. We all have dreams, right? We've all got dreams. I've got dreams. It's just none of my dreams ever revolved around Columbia, South Carolina. I mean, I just got to say, I'm just throwing this out there. The place sits in a hole. It's really hot. And for God's sakes, they put mustard-based barbecue sauce on barbecue. What are we doing here, guys? I mean, if nothing else, I'm glad that the staff still has ties to the area. They can come back up to North Carolina and get some barbecue because they aren't going to get it down there. Is that okay? Can I get away with that?
Yeah, well, to each their own. People
I think you just did.
Mustard-based barbecue, Jimmy. I know you live across the border. You have deep South Carolina roots, but I can't do the mustard-based stuff, man. That's South Carolina basically exists to unite North Carolinians because we have that east-west thing over whether you use tomatoes and vinegar and stuff like that, and whole hog versus shoulder. And then like we all collectively in North Carolina look south and go, huh?
Yeah, please remind Rob Dibble that we have running water here in South Carolina. Okay, I don't need to hear about that anymore.
He says y'all don't have running water.
Yeah, he says I need to come to North Carolina where there's running water.
Well, Rob won't see this show, but I can promise Rob that South Carolina absolutely does have running water. They even have electricity, and they financed it all by not paving the roads. So, okay, let's just merge on from that. And okay, as promised, we are going to bring you a different perspective on all the comings and goings here with the Niner Gals. Join us in welcoming in the player in program history who has put that jersey on more times than any other gal, Cori Hoffler. What's up, Cori?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
And we appreciate you making time for us. I guess let's start off with a simple question. How's alumni life treating you?
It's good. It's an adjustment, but I'm figuring it out. And I've had a lot of other things to do to keep me busy, so that's been good. So it's been good.
We were talking about the NCAA tournament appearance. It's really cool. I kind of, by the way, I refer to you as the captain. You're to me. We've had some great players. I mean, when we talk about Charlotte softball, even just the last 5 years of Charlotte softball, of course, there's Boo Vanoy and everything that she meant to the program and everything she did. Cass Krupik came in and had a fantastic season. Look at the season Ari Rhodey just had. So many people have contributed, but to me, the one constant, the rock of all this, Cori, has been you, and that's why you're the captain. Are you okay with that designation?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So we've played in the program has been to 2 NCAA tournaments, and you played in both of them. Mm-hmm. How would you compare the experience this year in Athens versus last year at Duke?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference I'd say between the two was Duke last year. We were extremely happy to just have been there. We were trying to break through that door of just getting to regionals. And so we were content with that. And I really think if we had some more drive of not being content with just being there, that we would have made it to supers. But we were grateful to be there. We were super content that we had made it. And then this year comes around and it's our second time in a row, and we were no longer content at all. We were striving and hoping for just to break down that next door of going to supers, and we came up short. But both were a blast, and it's such a fun experience just to be there, to be with the girls that you've spent the past 4 months with day in, day out, and just so much fun and such a great experience. And we're competitive, and it was always instilled in us that you can beat whoever is across from you on the field. And so we believe that every single time we play the game.
Yeah, and you get to get another ring to add to the collection. Back-to-back seasons with regular season conference championship. Finished tied for regular season this year and won the tournament. Actually just destroyed the tournament. So another ring going in your case. How does that feel?
It feels great. I think the conference tournament championship was probably my favorite of the championships. I always wanted to win the tournament. It seems like it doesn't mean as much as regular season, because regular season is so many more games and it's so much more work in general. But the conference tournament is just gritty. It's like it's whoever has the most fight in them wins it. And so I really enjoyed that one, and winning 2 championships in 2 weeks was awesome. So much fun to celebrate that.
And what a journey from where the program was when you came in to being there as a final year player, talking about winning 2 championships in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. You more than anybody saw the evolution of this program. And that's why you're the perfect person to be talking to at this time, because we're in this transition point. And, you yourself were a part of a transition. Basically, where we are right now is where we were when you came in from a coaching chain standpoint. So walk us through some of your perspective about how, before you came on, we were going through our range of emotions as fans and observers of this program. Oh crap, man, I'm happy for them, but all those things. But you come at that's a fan perspective. You did this as a player when we brought Coach Chastain in, And so now you have this unique perspective, I think, that you could share with us about just that transition and all the range of emotions that go with it.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, just talking about where the program was versus where it is now, it's truly incredible to think about what Coach Ash and her staff was able to do at Charlotte. I mean, no one had ever even heard of Charlotte softball, really. And for them to take it from what it was to what it is now is incredible. And that's just who they are, and that's what they're great at. And so, and that's why they chose to come to the next level. And so, yeah, grateful as I look back on that part. But yeah, I think the range of emotions of that summer before my freshman year of, I was committed to the old coach and was really excited to just have an opportunity to play. And so looking back, I think about as that coach was let go and then Coach Ash came on, it's such a confusing time. It's such a time of uncertainty. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. You're kind of like, maybe I should go somewhere else, because at least if I go somewhere else, I know that coach chose me to be there and knows me and I know them. And there's some certainty there, but I tell everyone it was the best decision I've ever made to not have the certainty and to just take the chance of staying and trying to earn my spot. And that's exactly what I did. And seriously, the best decision I ever made. Coach Ash and the whole staff, everyone who's been there, was incredible. And so that's what I've been talking to some of the incoming freshmen a little bit of, just like, hey, trust that, CT and Mike Hill, they're going to make a really, really great hire through the time of uncertainty of when we didn't have a hire yet. I was like, trust them, because this is where I was and they did. And I know that they're going to come through and do it again. And that's exactly what they did. So
let me just backtrack you there for a second. Let me make sure I hear what you said. So during the time in between the old staff goes out and the new staff comes in, like, you've been like talking to incoming players and giving them perspective and well, counseling, guidance, really, it sounds like. I mean, that, did I hear that right? That's what you've been doing?
Yeah, just a little bit, not a ton. I really felt a few weeks ago, I felt like, there was a few days where it was like, so-and-so hit the portal, so-and-so hit the portal. It was just like one after another. And it was stressing me out. And I was like, I'm not even a part of the program anymore. So I know it's stressing out those who are. And I was like, somebody just needs to, gather them up a little bit and say, hey, it's going to be okay. Like, just wait, just see it out, see what happens. And so, yeah. I did that just a little bit, as much as I could have.
Kevin, Jimmy, that's why she's the captain.
149% true.
I mean, of all the things that you've done in your time as a 49er, to me, that encapsulates you and who you are and what you do. And man, I couldn't be more proud to just have you associated with this program and this university. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you go ahead, Kevin?
Well, I was looking before we recorded the show, I was looking at the record book, softball record book, and it has been updated. And I feel like this needs to be said because, I mean, Cori Hoffler's name's all throughout the record book. Bear with me real quick. I'm going to read off this list that I made of her accomplishments that are in the 49er softball record book. So this year, she led the team in runs scored, 41. That tied for sixth most in a single season. You mentioned this already. First in games played as a 49er, 246 games played. Eighth all-time in hits, 201 hits. Second all-time in runs scored, just behind Illinois. Sixth all-time with RBIs, 109. 10th all-time in slugging percentage, 502. Fourth all-time in home runs with 30. Tied for third all-time in doubles. And ninth all-time in on-base percentage. So that's very impressive to go along with what you just told us as a captain role and as ambassador of the program. You're a dang on good player, also. I mean, it's gonna the records will stand for a long time, especially the one that you 246 games played as a 49er.
That if I counted that right, Kevin, that's 8 top 10 career stats.
Right.
But you know what? I do have to ask one question though. Cori, would you say your biggest regret in your time in the program is voting for Randy Peterson as best fan during Niner Nation Gives in 2023? Is that your biggest regret? That's just all I want to know.
You know, I got to stay loyal to Randy, my cornhole partner. I'm not going to say that's a regret for me.
Okay, fair enough. Loyalty means a lot.
Yeah. Hey, now after everything that just transpired here, Jimmy, did you really think she would flip on Randy after all of that?
No, I just wanted to prove a point.
And so you did. So let me. Do you? I'm just kind of exploring here your thought process for yourself. Go back to when the previous transition was made and Ashley came in. Do you remember the moment you found out that the staff you committed to was no more? Do you remember that moment?
I do, yes. I just remember being in my house and it was more confusing. I don't know. I was just finished my senior year of high school and I was kind of just didn't know what was going on, but I knew that they weren't going to be there anymore, but I also didn't know who was coming in yet. So.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of conversations took place with you and your family and trusted advisors, just trying to figure out, like, my gosh, like where do I go? I mean, and the other angle of that is, at that late date, really, if you were going to go somewhere else, where would that be? Who's got a roster spot and who's looking for you? So those had to be some sleepless nights.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part was my recruiting process was very unique, and I didn't start any of it until right before my senior year of high school. And so my whole class was already committed way before I was, and I was just grateful to have an opportunity to play. And so that's kind of where I was coming from, and so I was like, yeah, this is no brainer a little bit.
Wow.
Well, fast forward to 2 weeks ago. Take us through your reaction to Coach Ashley taking the South Carolina job and the events that unfolded.
Yeah, initially just so excited for her. I mean, when I saw that the South Carolina position was open, my first thought was Coach Ash, because that's exactly where she deserves to be. That next level is made for her. Like, she's the most incredible coach, her staff, that I've ever had. And so was so excited for her and for her staff and everybody. But, along with it, a little bit hard as an alumni, thinking about my role as an alumni and how to, already out of the community that I've known and loved for the past 5 years. And so I'm already trying to figure out what's next in that new role. But then now, the whole other layer of just figuring out how to be an alumni when my coaches and my people are somewhere else, but so happy, so excited for all of them. They're going to do really great things. And I've always known that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know that. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, I don't think nobody on this show right now would be the least bit surprised when they're hosting regionals, hosting supers in Oklahoma City, the whole thing. I mean, that's none of us will be surprised at all. But it's such a, you knew you were leaving. You just didn't know everybody else was going to leave right at the same time. It's just, I'll say this to you, Cori. I mean, we definitely need you to stay involved and be around. I know you'll be at the Sioux next year, but man, my goodness, what a piece of what an institutional resource you are. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, you're kind of the one that saw it all now. So the more we can have you around, the better. And we all need to find ways to keep you plugged in. We all do this, and Kevin knows. Kevin could make you a list, and Jimmy could as well. Not just softball, but baseball as well, and other sports that, you see these, you see guys that you watched play, and now they're in their, like, let's say they're in their mid-30s, they've got families and everything, and you might bump into them somewhere, and they just haven't been back in a while, and let's not, guys, let's keep Cori Hoffler.
I plan to be here.
You are welcome to tailgate with us anytime you want to.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't. You might want to be careful with that one, Cori. I don't know about hanging out with Jimmy at tailgates, because that's a whole.
Randy will be there to make sure she's taken care of.
Yeah, there we go.
That's fair. So we did have this transition. Well, we still have this transition period. It's going to be ongoing, but ultimately, Mike and CT did find their next head coach, and Courtney Brialt from Clemson. Any insight you can give us on her? I mean, you're sort of in the industry as it were. So what do you know? What are your initial impressions?
Yeah, I don't know her super well, but I know we played against her, and I mean, she comes from an incredible program at Clemson, so that's already a good thing for us. But I've heard really, really great things about her, and so I mean, a lot of trusted people in my life who do know her have said that she's great and that she really cares about her players, and I think that's number one on the list, and that's what I think made a lot of other coaches in my life super successful, but including Coach Ash and her staff, was that they really cared about us. And so hearing from other people that that's who she is very, it brings me a lot of peace knowing that, the girls that I do love so much that are going to be staying there are going to be in good hands, and going to be cared for so much more than softball. So I'm really excited about her and what she's going to do.
So one thing I do want to just let everybody know, because it begs the question, you're sitting out there and you're thinking, well, guys, you're going to talk to the new coach, right? Well, yeah, we hope so. We think so. We have not met Coach Brialt yet. She's been a little busy. I guess she's got – apparently there's a few roster spots available. We've heard she's been out recruiting. Not to mention she's got to put a staff together. But we have had we've been in contact with CT, with Chris Thomason, associate AD for that's over softball program, and those conversations are underway. So hopefully the next time we all see you on here, we'll have our new head coach. So that's where that is. You're sitting there thinking, well, where's the new coach? Well, I think we'll have her on. That is certainly the intent. She just needs a little time to, I don't know, maybe get her feet under her and put a roster together, something like that. That'd be good. I mean, when you think about it, Cori, when would you guys when would you guys start your activities, not your team activities, but when would you start individual work in the academic year?
Yeah, usually it's the first day of school. So I'd say around August 15th in that area. I don't know when the first day of school is, but first day of school, we're all in.
Yeah. So move-in day is mid-August. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're out there, out there watching and you start thinking about this as we say this, it's basically the end of June now. Recording this on June 27th. So coach has about 6 weeks to put a roster together, to put a staff together, to put a roster together. And then there's the whole aspect of all those players need to, they need to get into school. They need to do all this stuff, housing arrangements, all this stuff. So it's going to be a little, she's going to be a little busy, but the first opportunity we have, we want to have her on and let everybody meet her. It's a new era now, Cori.
Yep, sure is. It's exciting.
Yeah, and nobody said it better than you that transition through that unknown, while scary last time, was like the best thing that ever happened to you.
Mm-hmm. Sure was. Yep. And I have confidence that it'll be the same for those who are here now. So. Yeah,
I like it. Kevin, we talk about this kind of thing we talk about all the time, but man, this getting here and together in this community and having Cori come in as well. This has done me a lot of good. This renews my this is home. This is a great spot. There are going to be people that think this is a great spot as well, in addition to the four of us. And hey, we got some people working on it, and the program goes on.
That's right. And hearing Cori's been trying to ease the transition is very easing my mind as well. It eases my anxiety about the program moving forward. But yes, uncertain times, but you got to look at the big picture. It's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, just so the folks at home know, transition away from softball a little bit, Cori. So you're out of school. You've had some time to decompress. What's up with Cori Hoffler? What's going on? What do you got cooking?
Yeah. So I guess a few things. I student teach in the fall, so my major is special education, and so I technically graduate in December. I don't have any more classes to take, which is great, but I do full-time student teach all fall. I'm placed at Hickory Ridge Elementary, so right up the road, right in my hometown. So I'm really excited about that. And then, apart from that, focusing on being a wife, and Joel's been following me around for a year and a half now, and so excited to follow him around a little bit in the fun things that he does. And so, other than that, a lot of family time, making up for a lot of lost time there, and it's been really fun. It's been good to decompress and have that freedom a little bit, and it's been really good.
Now, did you go to Hickory Ridge Elementary, or did it open after you?
It opened after. It opened pretty recently. I went to Hickory Ridge Middle and High, but not elementary. Yeah.
So you went to the old Harrisburg Elementary? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's still pretty cool, though.
Yep. No, it is. It's really cool.
Yeah. Back in your hometown, doing big things. Hopefully we can keep you. My wife works Cabarrus County Schools. We're Kevin and I are Cabarrus County guys now. We need to keep you in Cabarrus County. That'd be cool.
It's the best place.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, guys. I think we gave it a fair treatment tonight. Kevin, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think everybody's emotions, as you said, has been a roller coaster. It's been all over the board, but I think we've shared them. I don't know what the audience thought, but it's probably good for us. A little cathartic, if you will.
Catharsis, yes. Kevin, we just do this like there's not an audience anyway, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, mostly for the most part.
Yeah, this is just us sitting around talking about what we want to talk about, and if somebody else happens to find this useful, then amazing. Yeah, this has been good for us. So, all right. Well, I tell you what, Cori, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and agree that this is not the last time you're here. You're going to come back, and we'll make a contributor out of you yet here as an alumni. Maybe not while you're student teaching, but we'll find a role for you.
That sounds good. I'll be around.
That's awesome. All right, folks. That is. Well, this is a couple of things. That's a wrap on the 2024 season as far as we're concerned. And heck, that's a wrap on an era of Niner Gal softball. Next time we come to you, who knows what we'll be talking about and how that'll look and everything else. So just stay tuned. But as for tonight, we did the best we could for you. Kind of put a bow on it all. Another great season of Niner Gal softball. A lot to be proud of, a lot to reflect on. A lot of change in the air, but as Cori said, change can be good. So it's going to be quite an interesting time there on campus this fall. So, all right, for Kevin, for producer Brad, for Jimmy Touchstone, and for the captain, Cori Hoffler, this is Nick saying good night, everybody. See you at the Sioux sooner or later.